Hello, hello, welcome, everyone. We're just having some technical challenges with Facebook. Although the show was scheduled for 6:15, but Facebook is saying we cannot start 10 minutes after the scheduled time. So it kept forcing me to log out and restart. So let me see. I was trying to invite a couple people and I lost one of them. Let me send them a message quickly so that they can join. And I hope that you're enjoying yourself. And today it's a very nice day here in the region of Niagara Falls, enjoying ourselves and cannot complain about the weather. It's not too hot, not too warm. It's nice. So here we are enjoying that. So I have Mountain of Inspiration, who should be joining me shortly. And also, we may have a surprise guest as well. Let's see. Thank you for reconnecting. So there was a problem with Facebook. I may have to report it.
Okay.
Because, I mean, Facebook, regardless of the platform, if you schedule something and you're late by 10 minutes, you cannot do the live.
Okay.
You have to basically cancel the first one, reschedule, and do a new one.
Okay.
So it kind of forced me to redo everything, and that's why it kind of locked us out of this stream.
Okay.
Let me, because I know there is one person who was interested joining, and let me see if they can, because the first link has expired. Okay.
To be expected technology,
yeah? Yeah. Okay, just telling that, no problem, they can watch. Once again, thank you for joining us tonight for another tutorial by Joel. As you know, our mission is really to inspire, to give you the tools, you as a preacher of the gospel, you as a content creator, you as an entrepreneur. So that's why we are here. And tonight we have a wonderful, wonderful topic, which came from many discussions with various people. And as a matter of fact, it happened that 3 different people asked me the same question last week. Can you recommend some tools, some equipment so that we can do our live streaming? And if you can do it with at least 2 cameras. I say, okay, let me do some research and get back to you. So I end up putting a document. It's actually like now it's getting like to 4 pages where I just explain a couple of things and I list some of the tools, some of the equipment that I think should be fine for a live streaming for a church. And the 3 of them were like pastors and leaders of the church. So before we go any further, I would like first to acknowledge our sponsors. Réseau, Biso, Basi. It's a network of business women. They're all over the world, but its headquarters is based in Belgium, but they have members in all over the world. So in Africa, in Europe, in America, in Asia, I'm not sure, but I know Africa, America, and Europe. They have members, women who are entrepreneurs. We decided to launch in the entrepreneurship and try themselves out and build some money, bring some money for their family. We also have Dahlia Show, with a show that we produce, but also they support us for this month of June, like they've been doing it for the couple of months. We also have Mountain of Inspiration, who's represented here, one of our fervent partner, and really we are so blessed to have him as a partner, supporting us through the prayer, to the motivation, to the word of encouragement, to let us know that we are on the right path. We also have ADAMusiq, which is a production company based in Quebec. and they produce Christian musician, and they're wonderful people. If you are an artist, a Christian artist looking for a producer, you may want to reach out to them. They may help you out. We also have DLM Design. She's a great fashion designer. She went to university for what she's doing. So it's not any kind of people just calling themselves designer, but she went to university to create that business of hers.
Excellent.
We have Shadawear, producing urban street clothing, really nice design, really, young. It gives you feel young in terms of what you can do. And we also have Amen Production, which is our own company, the parent company for Joel Amen TV. And finally, we have Elyzoé, which is a jeweler manufacturer. They create their own jewelry pieces. They're based in Belgium, and they are one of our great customers, supporting us all the way from Belgium. Excellent. So tonight we will talk about a budget-friendly multicam video production. Tell me,
is it possible?
Is it possible? Good. We will find out soon. We'll find out soon. You tell me, in your opinion, what is the budget? If I say budget friendly, so how much do you think that would be?
Under 500 Canadian.
Under 500? Okay.
Yeah, 500 Canadian.
Okay. So
something that can be within reach for the average person out there.
Yeah. So provided that you already have some of the equipment.
Exactly. Yes.
Okay. So I agree with you that you can have you can do a multicam video production below $500. As a matter of fact, I'll show you how. But before we do that, there is one thing that we need to understand. Let me just check the messages. Yes. I see Dahlia TV there. Hello, everybody. Hello, Dahlia TV. Thank you for joining us. And my baby daughter. And she's saying, oh, faithful mountain of inspiration. Yes. So there are two different kinds of equipment in the market. Okay. One of them is called the switcher. As the name states, it allows you to switch from one video source to another one. And there are, various options, many different options that you can choose from, and you can, expand and build from that. But a switcher will require for you to get something else that's called an encoder.
Okay.
An encoder is basically, it could be your computer, or it could be an external hardware piece where you take the feed from your switcher. Switcher, there's another word for switcher. It's called mixer, video mixer. So you take the video feed from your mixer, send it to the encoder, and so the encoder send it to the internet. Okay, it send it to your different platform.
So this sounds like something that we used to do back in the days, but 10, 15 years ago.
Oh, you'll be amazed because some people are still doing it now.
Oh, really?
As a matter of fact, okay, because remember, the encoder is not just, it could be your computer.
Okay, if you say computer, it makes sense, but if you say encoder, it sounds like something from 20 years ago.
It's basically the device between your video or your camera and the internet.
Okay.
That is the encoder. An encoder could be your phone, it could be your computer.
Okay.
It could be a physical piece of equipment specially dedicated just for that.
Okay.
Because as you can imagine, the language coming from your mixer going through the internet cannot be automatically translated. Why? Because the video file that we produce, especially when we decide to do high definition, that video file is so big.
Yeah.
It's so big, it's so heavy that the encoder job is really to kind of shrink it while maintaining, compress while maintaining the quality, the high definition quality. That's where the encoder comes into play. And that encoder could be your phone, it could be your computer, it could be your laptop. So basically, it could be a piece of hardware. It's really a piece of hardware that just translates your video file into a file for the streaming, for the internet. Yes. So you said 500. You are right. And I'll be basically first showing you a couple of options.
500 Canadians.
500 Canadian. Yes.
Okay,
So American, it could be probably less. Okay. Before I share my screen, let me first share my screen because I need to show everybody what can be done here. Okay. Okay. Why is he not finding my iPad? Okay, let's redo it. Let's restart the QuickTime. Okay, so I'll first share the different options that I have found. Okay. We'll go first with what we call the switchers. Okay. So as you can see here, this is a switcher. Okay, it's there. Okay, it's a switcher. You can basically connect two cameras in the back and use the remote to switch from one camera to another one. But this switcher doesn't translate the image for internet. So basically what you need to do, connecting it to the USB port, you connect it to your computer. And then your computer becomes the encoder that connects to your YouTube, your Facebook, and etc. platform, whatever platform you're planning to stream to. As you can see, the price, it's only $80 plus $9.60 for the import fees. And basically with the Prime account, I can have it by June 24th.
By June 24th. Okay.
Yeah. So this is because I believe it's coming out of the country. They don't have it in stock, so they have to import it. Okay. This is one of the way you can switch between two cameras.
Okay.
As you can see, the price is only that. So if you already have a computer, all you do, you connect your cameras to this piece of equipment using a USB cable. You connect it to your computer, and your two video lines will show up on your computer as one file, one source. Okay, so right there, if you already have two cameras or one camera and one phone, as you can see, you're only paying $80. So basically, if we take with the taxes, it could be around 90, or let's say just round it up to $100 Canadian.
Okay.
So with $100 Canadian, you can have two cameras. That is a multi-cam setup. Connected to your computer, you ready to go and do your live. Okay. Next, you have a different one. And this one becomes much, much better because what it does, you can connect 4 different cameras. And look at the price. It's only $379 Canadian, so plus the $45 import fee. So we're looking at probably $400. So $400, you get a piece of equipment where you can connect 4 different cameras. Okay? You connect your 4 different cameras on that piece, and you connect it to your computer. Your computer will see one source, like a webcam. Because it's coming through USB, your computer will see the signal as one source. So you have 4 different cameras. You choose camera 1, but your computer only see like 1. You choose camera 2, it comes as 1. But look at the price. That is only for $400. Okay? The next one,
wow,
it's this one. It's called Blackmagic Design A10 Mini. It's coming from a brand that is well known in the film industry, like whoever people in the film industry, the television productions, even video productions. A lot of people know this company, this brand, because they produce one of the best cameras. So that's how we came to know them. And their piece of equipment comes at $400 Canadian. Yeah. So those are what I call switchers. Okay. Switchers basically allowing you to switch from one video source to another one. If I move to the next level, then from the same brand, I have the Blackmagic Design A10 Mini Pro. So the question people may ask, okay, what is the difference? The difference basically is with this one, you can stream, if you do connect through cable, Ethernet cable to your modem or your router, you can stream to the internet. So your computer is no longer the encoder. As a matter of fact, all you can do is connect a screen, a monitor,
wow,
to this for you to have a view of the various input that you have and stream. That is only for $665. $600.65. So with this, as you can see, you're already getting in the game.
But this one is like for, I would call it a big production. This is no longer for a small production. This is like a big production that you do live on a daily basis, and it's a studio, and you have people coming on a daily basis. Otherwise, it might be very hard to justify for someone who does it only once a week.
Yes and no. Yes, okay. Why? Because if you get to the level, let's say you are a chef, okay, or you are a coach, okay, where a musician, you're coaching people, you may need something with multi-angle. So to help the audience to follow and see what you're doing at a certain time. That's the beauty of this. So having this one at $665 and knowing that all you need is basically not a computer, but just your box, an internet connection, a wired internet connection, and maybe a small screen just for you to monitor, you are good to go.
Okay.
Good to go.
Okay.
But there is something else. Okay. And this one gets a little bit pricier. Okay. But I'll tell you now the benefit, the advantages of this one.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
So for $1,200 on this one,
Mm-hmm.
you can stream from anywhere in the world where you have a connection.
Mm-hmm.
Meaning you're using your LTE or your 4G connection.
Mm-hmm.
You can actually use SIM card and insert it and use it with this one.
Mm-hmm.
And still get up to 4 different cameras input.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
This is really for the mobile people, the people on the go, let's say weddings and things like that, and they want to do streaming like we are now, almost, yes, we're being allowed to go out, but
Mm-hmm.
for, I'm talking about Ontario here in Canada,
Mm-hmm.
even churches and marriages, they're still limiting that to 10 people.
Mm-hmm.
So with this kind of tool, if I was called to do a production and I have all my different cameras, this is a piece of equipment that I'll probably bring.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I'll make sure that my SIM card is, the data is full,
Mm-hmm.
and I just plug it in and take it with me, with my cables, with my cameras, connect them, ready to go.
Mm-hmm.
And that's all for $1,200.
Mm-hmm.
And I was watching some videos on this one. It's not even, it's smaller actually than an iPad in terms of width, smaller. But you can do lower third, you can do graphics, you can insert graphics, text, a lot of things.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You can actually even play video recorded on an SD card that you insert in.
Mm-hmm.
So it's really a production in the box. Okay? Yes. Let me move to the third one. So this one, Switcher Studio, it's unfortunately only available for the iPhone users at a time. At this time, like as we're speaking.
Mm-hmm.
Basically allows you to, we'll talk about it. You can connect, you can have your iPhones, you can have your iPad and connect them wirelessly to connect them, through, how they call it, internal, like there will be like one master. Then you can choose which phone you use as a camera at a given time.
Mm-hmm.
And the cost, it's this one, it's $45 US per month, or you pay $400. You see, that's the cost. And the last one, and that's the one that I want to show people, it's really this one. Maker.
Mm-hmm.
Why I want to show you this one? Because with 2 phones connected to your iPad, it's free. So you can have 2 phones connected to your iPad and use this application for free. And let me see if my system will allow me now to connect my iPad and share with you how it can work.
You have access to this one?
Yes, I've already installed it because I wanted to try.
Okay.
And it's nice. Although there are a couple of things that you need to watch for, but you can do a lot. Oh, yes, it's working.
So how many cameras you have connected now? How many phones?
2.
Okay.
Okay. So, and I'll show you the different angles and all that. All right, let me share that. Okay, screens. And for the people listening, and if you have any questions, please do not hesitate. Okay, so as you can see, in the small window, this is my main camera. Okay, but I'm using on the switcher, I'm using that one, and I did it purposely. The overlay, I put it in purple so people can see the difference between the two. So this is this camera here. Okay, I have another one there. Let me switch. And that's the other camera.
Oh.
Yes.
And these are 2 cell phones.
2 cell phones that I'm using as a camera. And all it costs, it cost me nothing, zero. Why? Because I have the iPad and I have the 2 phones. Hey, Keisha. Yeah, we're good. How are you?
Okay, Keisha, you need this for your next live,
huh? So this is where I was going to. Although it sounds, it's good because you can see I'm playing with it. Let me switch to this camera. Okay, now I'm on this one. There is a small lag, okay, because I'm connected wirelessly.
Oh, okay.
Okay, there's a small lag. And not only that, you need to have a really strong Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
So if you don't, then it becomes a problem. That's where, it's good. Yes. And like Keisha was saying, that's great for church service broadcast. Definitely. And that's why I start researching on these things, is because 3 people from different churches came to me and asking for solutions. Okay. So it's really, as you can see, it's fluid. I can move. And actually, there is even more. I can adjust the way the camera behaves. So I can even zoom from my iPad. I can zoom. You see, I'm zooming from the iPad.
Okay. Can you turn one go black and white?
Probably yes. If I do, okay, or because the white balance is auto, I can go manual and look.
Okay.
So I can play with the tint.
Okay.
And do that. So basically, to get the black and white is probably a matter of playing with those 2.
You have saturation?
No, it doesn't give you saturation.
Okay, so you can do black and white. Okay.
No. But as you can see,
yeah, so you can create some kind of a movie effect.
Right. So you can do that. I can do, let's see. I have the zoom, I have the exposure duration. As you can see, I'm playing with them. Exposure bias,
Okay.
Yeah.
And all this from the iPad?
Yes. The screen that you're seeing now, right there in the middle, that's the iPad. As you can see at the bottom, it says, upgrade to studio to connect more device.
So basically, most places, they only one person to actually look after everything.
I mean, that's why I call it budget friendly.
Wow.
It's really a budget friendly. Like Keisha say, yes, you can have it for a church service where, okay, they don't have all the budget. And the wireless thing, it's really good for if they have a good internet, and also if they have a good internet and they don't have, it's not easy for them to have cables running. So having the wireless thing is good, but the main caveat is really the internet or the Wi-Fi connection. It has to be really good. Okay, but this company, Cinemaker, they also sell options, different hardware that can make your phones, connect them into cables, into wired, and let's say you connect all of that to your modem or your router, and giving you a more stable connectivity.
How much is that?
Then we probably need to go back to the web, to the
So Cinemaker, right?
Cinemaker, C-I-N-A Maker. Let's see.
C-I-N-A.
Yes. Let's go back. I'll share. Okay.
And the iPad, does it need to be, so basically, is it iPad or any tablet?
iPad, because so far it looks like it's, I think they have an Android version as well, okay, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
So let's see if you go down. No. Okay. So the different products, now they don't show it here, but they have another place where you get all these tools. And because I was watching a video, the CEO was talking about they have some switches where you can connect, let's say, all your 4 cameras. You convert the signal from lightning and convert them and connect them to that switch, and it provides power to your phone, because phones are they will die if they're not connected to a power source, and especially when you have video running, the phones can die. So they have all those accessories that you can use and have your live production. Yeah.
Wow. This is a major revolution. This is a major breakthrough.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, anyone watching you right now, this is a major breakthrough. This is basically giving them like a very expensive meal on the table for them to consider as an option.
Yeah.
This is a major breakthrough.
So
because back in the days, this is something that would cost like thousands on a monthly basis just to run within a building.
Right. So again, if you are a small production or really tight on a budget, I'll probably say start with Cinemaker. Cinemaker. Start with them, because with the 2 phones connected, it's free. If you want to have 4 phones connected, then you need to pay $29.99 or $199 for the whole year. Okay, which is the equivalent of $16.69 US.
And this is only for the live, right? So is it possible, like a Prism Live Studio, to actually record from different angles with their application, and then use their application to actually do the editing, and then have a final product like Prism will actually do for you?
Definitely. And actually, they allow you to do that. Yeah. And you can export it to Final Cut and Adobe.
Wow. Excellent. So for more
right
editing,
here, Premiere and Final Cut.
Excellent.
So the file that you record, you can share it with those platforms, those editing platforms, and they work.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So let me just go back to the.
Wow.
Okay. All right, so I'm back to Cinemaker. As you can see, with the overlay that tells you it's different color. Mm-hmm. Yeah, because that's Cinemaker. Mm-hmm. As you can see, I can put the overlay there. I can add the overlay and run it like you will do it anywhere. So let me read the comments. So Keisha was saying, okay.
Yeah, because here's the truth, right? Now most people have access to a couple of phones in their home. Mm-hmm. A couple of phones that basically still in good good order. So you can actually use both phones to actually do this kind of production. Mm-hmm. And if you have access to an iPad or a tablet, then I'm telling you, yes, this is definitely the way forward.
Yeah.
I myself will be considering that actually for my production. Yeah. Just use that, do everything after that, edit it, and yeah, good to go.
And speaking of that, I know Keisha is saying you should come to the dark side of Apple, but let me first read his comment. I saw a guy with 2 cameras, one fixed and another one on automatic sliding rail back and forth, and with a timer. It would switch between two cams every 3 minutes. So great. A pastor, I'll find a link. Okay, yeah. Oh, Dr. Lukusa is here. Hello. Yeah. So basically, like you were saying, it's really what it can do. Okay, let me just go back. This is what it can do. You can have your production, but talking about Prism Live Studio, I just find out that they have a desktop version.
But will it let you use two cell phones?
I haven't checked it because yes, I do have a PC, but it's unplugged, and I need to connect it again and see if I can run Prism Live Studio. But if you go on the website, let me share with the screen again. If you go on Prism Live Studio website, they have a Windows version. It's only for desktop. And if I'm not mistaken, I was watching somebody doing a live and explaining how it works. I think you can do two cameras.
From Prism Live Studio?
Prism Live Studio, but the desktop, not the mobile.
Okay.
Yes. So if you like to stay on the PC side, then there's something you may want to try. You may want to try this and download it and see if it works. Because since the kids, they have the laptop from school to do the schools, and the youngest one is using the desktop, the old desktop. So the Windows PC, I had to unplug it because nobody was using it. But just for the sake of trying this Prism Live and maybe do a session on it, I'll probably plug it back and try it. Give it a try.
Okay.
Yeah. But it looks like you can do basically all of these things.
Because here's the thing.
Yes.
A few years ago, or a few months ago, or a few weeks ago, people were actually thinking in terms of actually buying different DSLRs to do production from different angles. But now that you're showing us that it is possible to do a production from different angles using cell phones, then the biggest question that I have on the table is, why would I go spend money on buying a DSLR? All I have to do is just buy another iPhone and then just use a couple iPhone, find Cinema. Is it Cinematech?
No, Cinemaker. Let me write it in the comment.
Yeah, Cinemaker, and then I'm good to go. Cinemaker with an iPad, I'm good to go, because the money you spend on a DSLR will actually give you it will be enough to actually buy an iPad plus another cell phone.
Now, don't forget one thing. The video file, as soon as you start recording, you know it already.
Yeah.
So you need to be mindful of the capacity.
Gigabyte, yes.
Yes.
I would say minimum 64. That's the basic minimum.
Right.
And I'll tell you one thing. Even with 16 gigabyte, as long as you can actually record up to 30 minutes and delete the file right away, you're good to go.
Right. Yeah. So if you're going to use it in that manner, yes. And also, don't forget it. The main challenge using this tool, it's really having a good Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
Because if it works nice, as I was showing you guys, okay, it works nice, and the main thing is really having that good connection. So if the connection is good, no problem. So let me switch to the other one. So you see.
But I have a question for you.
Right.
If I'm doing a recording,
and
I'm not live, I'm doing a live. So even if the connection is let's say unstable, I'll be patient. I'll be patient. There's no rush.
Maybe not. I haven't tried it, and
Okay.
because my Wi-Fi is good. Okay. But I'll tell you one thing. While I was preparing, when I was getting ready to come live, at one time it was telling me that there are too many radio frequencies interferences. As you can imagine, where I am, I have those two phones running. Okay, this one and that one, okay, running.
Oh, okay.
So
okay.
Creating interferences. My iPad also connected to the same network, and the same network is the one that everybody else is using in the house. And thank God I have a good internet plan. But it was giving me messages. It was giving me warnings that, hey, you're getting a lot of radio frequencies interferences. Just say RF. Yes.
Yeah, but my way around that is very simple. It's, since I've been doing this for the past few months, my way around is wake up as early as possible to do the shooting, or shoot as late as possible, so that you're the only person you're in your house and in the neighborhood using the lines. I start my day at 4 o'clock in the morning. That's why I can shoot a couple videos. I'm always ahead of at least by one video, because I start my day either early or very late, so I can shoot when I know that my neighbors are not on the Wi-Fi, my neighbors are not on the bell lines, and my family is all sleeping, and I can shoot very peacefully.
The body needs to rest.
No, I sleep. I still go to bed for 6 or 7 hours, but at least when it comes to work, I find a way around that.
So, if that is what you're after, then I'll say instead invest more and set yourself up for long term, because this Cinemaker, I see it as a short term. Okay, because right now, for you to get even a used iPad 64 gig, it's not less than $400.
Okay.
It's not less than $400. So if you don't have an iPad, or if you don't get one as a birthday gift, then I'll probably say go to let's see.
Because what you're saying is that the iPad, it will actually be serving as a laptop or desktop.
It's really like the switcher.
Yes.
The switcher and encoder at the same time.
Yeah.
So you can use it for both. But the challenge is the reliability of the Wi-Fi.
Okay.
Because as I share with you, I have a good internet connection, good service, 1 gigabit. But I was getting warning saying a lot of frequencies, a lot of interferences.
Yes.
So because depending also where you live, because you live in an urban setting, I'm in a rural setting, I'm fine. But I guess in your area, those interferences will probably be higher.
Absolutely.
So that could be an issue. And that's why I may suggest you to go for one of those solutions.
Okay.
So let's go. If we go back, okay, because this one is just a switcher. That one is just a switcher. Okay, this one you can record. You cannot record. The mini, you cannot record. So if I go on the other one,
productions.
Yeah. So, okay, this one you can record, but the price is getting a little bit higher.
How much is it again?
This one is 1,200. 1,200 Canadian. You can record, but the price is higher. On this one at 665, you can plug a disk drive and record. and play with the different input.
Mhm.
But for the ease of doing things, I'll probably say 1200 is good to go for. You see, unless you make sure that uh, your internet provider upgrade the service in your area, because that's the best they can do now in your area. But if they do
It's not happening.
upgrade it, update how they do they deliver the service in the area, maybe you can get that kind of that speed and take advantage of that.
Okay.
Yeah, but something like this, and again, you know me, I'll be searching now that I know that there is a need, like a recorder having multiple angle and a recorder. Then maybe we'll probably look for a different option, uh, cheaper than this one, but I can do the thing, because here it tells you, okay. Oh, sorry, let me go back.
Yeah, because here's the thing. I mean, when it comes to production, because I do production, I don't do live anymore. For production, from time to time, if you have only one camera that you can actually use, you have to actually set up the camera from one angle, shoot, move to different angles, set up again, shoot. But if you have multiple cameras, multiple cell phones, even a couple of cell phones, you can do a production ahead of time. You know that at this particular moment, I'll be looking at this particular camera. At this particular moment, we're looking at this particular camera, and I can actually do the recording, then edit after that. Yeah, that'll be definitely a game changer as far as production is concerned. So I'm really impressed. I am very impressed as far as what you can do.
But I'll tell you that, so if that is the case, you don't really need a switcher right now, okay?
Okay.
If that's the case, all you need is really installing DaVinci Resolve. DaVinci Resolve, it will, you can do editing like Adobe or Final Cut, but it's free. Okay, so the DaVinci Resolve, it's from Blackmagic, the maker of the switcher.
Okay.
Okay, call it DaVinci.
Someone took my notepad. Interesting.
Okay, so the DaVinci Resolve. So they will say 17, but check with your computer and make sure that your computer can handle 17. But I think 17, it's really for the newest operating system. So if you have an old operating system, then it's best to go with the 16. And the 16 is somewhere down here.
DaVinci Resolve, is it for desktop or is it for?
For desktop.
Okay.
But because, instead of investing on the switcher and all that, and maybe you have to change,
okay,
I'll say record your different angles setting your different cameras the way you want them, record all three of them at the same time, and then bring them on DaVinci Resolve, an editing software like this one, and do the editing.
So all this editing showing right now is from their website?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Yes. Oh, I mean, DaVinci Resolve, they have one software. It's for color correction, and all the big major Hollywood studios, they use that. They use that color correction software, and that is also kind of where they decided to get into more and doing more. They were doing the hardware before. They've been doing the switcher, the video mixer for a while, and now a couple of years ago, I don't remember when, they start doing the software for the color correction. And now, because they see how people getting into to know the product, they decide to put that software for free. And there is marketing behind that, because they know if people are buying their camera, people are buying their switcher and other adapters, And if you give them a free software that they can use, you drawing them into your ecosystem. And that's what they've been doing. Because the quality you get,
impressive.
Yes. And don't just look at it this way. But of course, you need to first, any good video need to be well recorded.
Of course, yeah.
And then the editing becomes just a bonus on top of that. Because if you don't have the light, if you don't have the sound, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
Impressive.
Yeah. But at the end of the day, it's really, if this it's really for people who already have like an iPad and they have 2 iPhones, or you see, okay, it's only, let's see, let's go on Google Play and see Cinemaker.
From Google Play, right?
Yeah, I'm just going to see. No, of course, you have other options. You see, like this one, Mevo Multicam, but Mevo, I don't think it'll be free. Okay, so Prism. But you should check if you want to stay with the PC, you should check the Prism desktop, Prism Live desktop.
I mean, right now, as far as this thing is concerned, I think Apple and iPhones have the monopoly, because in terms of what iPhone can do when it comes to recording, even my Android phone, we can actually shoot a 4K. In terms of editing, it's very limited. But iPhone, you can do the editing on, so I would definitely say I have to be moving just Apple and iPhone.
Yeah, and you don't have to buy the latest one.
Yeah.
That's the beauty of Apple. You don't have to buy the latest hardware to get the quality. You don't have to. If you cannot afford it, and we're talking budget, then go for something that is probably 3 or 4 years old, and you'll still be fine.
Yeah.
That's what I like about the Apple product, because you can go, you know me. All those 3 phones they were made in 2015, 6 years old. But look at the quality. Look at the quality. Okay. Look, if I bring the iPad back, okay, let's share the iPad to show you how. Okay, stuck. All right. So this is sometimes what happens. It kind of freezes like this. Yeah. And
okay.
I don't know what it can do. Okay, maybe.
Yeah, because it's a live.
Yes.
That's what, yeah.
So if you can, yes, you have it, fine. But if you don't have an iPad, I'll say don't. Now there are different ways that you can probably do things, and which is fine, because at the end of the day, it's now acting fine again. All right. Yeah. But what I really like about this is, like, even on one day, if I want to do things, I want to show the desktop or something else while I'm doing the live, this is the tool. But the other thing I forgot, unlike Prism Live, this app abides by YouTube rules, and if you don't have 1,000 subscribers, you cannot do stream on YouTube.
Okay, which is fine.
But Prism Live, regardless of 1,000 subscribers or less, you can still stream to YouTube. Yeah. Yeah, so I hope I kind of covered everything.
Amazing.
I covered
Amazing.
the main product. Those are not, this is not an exhaustive list of all the options that are available out there. There are more, but as you know, the algorithms of the internet gives you whatever they like to favor, whatever they like to push. You know, unfortunately, that's how we get limited.
Yeah, money's game.
Yeah, so we need to always try, always research, always find different ways, and that takes time to find something else, some good alternative or budget-friendly alternative to all those brands that we saw here. There are some of them, yes, but we don't know them yet. And also, the other thing is, let's face it, China has probably the same options, but in brands that we don't know about.
Yeah.
In brands that not marketed for the North American market yet.
Yeah, because I went to China. I mean, I know how it works in China. China will only sell you what you decide to buy. So if a distributor goes to China and look at a different product and say, I'm going to only be picking number 1, number 3, that's all they buy. But option 2, 4, 5, the rest of them, they are still available until someone decides to go there and say, I want to pick this option.
Right.
So what you're saying is absolutely right.
Yeah. So they have the technologies, and you know, they are the world factory.
Absolutely.
So they produce everything. It's just a matter of people finding those manufacturers and branding them or doing something and bring them to the market. That's all it takes. But I have no doubt that it will be coming, because like I showed you, the YOLO Live, that piece that costs $1,200. Yes, a couple of years ago, people were not paying attention to that. And then all of a sudden, they also understood how to market the product, and they've been putting that in the hands of YouTube influencers, and that's how it got out.
There you go.
You see, it's a good product. Why? Because, for example, he has the screen, a touch screen. So you can set up things, you can do the text, you can do overlays, but the beauty is really the touch screen. On the go, he has you can put it on the stand, you can mount it different ways, and you have a good product as long as you have a SIM card in it that can, you know, allow you to stream. And for that price, you know, if you can afford, I mean, it's really, if you get a business, and you know, we get back to that level of you know, people going out and doing things, and people start having those big weddings, big parties, I'll say go for YOLO. You know, because if you do that if you have, let's say, 2 or 3 weddings in a year, you can afford that. You can afford to get something like that easy.
Yeah, maybe in a couple of years, not now.
Yeah.
Now.
No, right now we know nothing is happening. So right now, I'll say, you have an iPad, you have a good internet connection, go for Cinemaker. Or if you want, you can still do if you want to do the live, yes, go Cinemaker. If you want to do just the switching, you can use that switcher that it was $80. So for $100, you get a switcher. You would connect two cameras, even iPhones with the adapters. You connect it to that switcher and you switch, and you do your live for $80. $100. You do that switch. But one of the challenge and one of the thing that we always need to remember when we go in with those solutions is the more connectivities, the more connections that you set up until you start streaming, the more checking point and how they call it. In IT, we call it point of failure. So you have,
I get it.
yeah, so it's really being mindful of that. In a short term, yes, you can afford because your budget limited. You can do those adapter cables to the source. Bang, so it works. But knowing that if something happens or something is giving you trouble, you would have to test each step, one connection, one connector at a time. And that's what, it can become a little too much. A little too much in terms of frustration and, because you never know.
Yeah.
You never know.
So true.
Yeah. I bought a couple months ago, actually last year, I bought an adapter that can convert HDMI to USB-C. It worked fine for a couple of months, and then I started using it on my work PC, and then it stopped working. And I'm like, okay, maybe it's gone. I put it back on Apple, no problem. I'm like, okay, do I need to do a driver update? And because it's the work PC, and I didn't have to install anything to get it running, I don't want to install anything there. But it just gives you, the frustration of not knowing where the problem is. Is it the cable? Is it the PC? Is it the hardware itself? It could be anything. Yeah. And also the last thing and the last comment that I can say on all of this, go based on your budget. All these solutions are nice. It gives you different perspective and depending on what you want to do, but go with your budget and understand that with the smallest one, and those are the pros and those are the cons.
Yes.
Pros and cons, and you balance them out and see what makes sense for you. If it's worth the risk, go for it, because then you will know for sure that maybe I need to go to the next level up, which will probably cost more money, but need to go to the next level because it will probably be more stable than the cheaper version. Guys, because as you know, there is a good reason why those manufacturers they price the hardware and at the price they put them. There is a good reason. Yes, they're making money. Yes, they're making probably great margins, but there is a reason.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So always take that in consideration. Okay, so the name of that app is Cinemaker, and yeah, so for those of you who will be watching even after, if you liked what we said and you still have questions, my number is right there at the bottom of the screen. Do not hesitate to send me a message. Do not hesitate to ask me your questions. It will be my pleasure to research on the topic for you and provide you with the answer. And if you like to dive even more and hire me as a consultant to provide a custom solution for your church, for your business, same thing. Let me know. Reach out to me. My prices are reasonable, and I know as an entrepreneur what it takes. I know sometimes budget can be tight when you're starting out, and even if you've been in the game for a long time. But in those changing times, we know how difficult it could be. So don't feel, stress, but just give us a call and we can probably work something out to make sure that you get the proper advice, you get the proper the proper advice, let me put it this way, for your project, for your church, for your business, for your next gig. So we are here for that. And if you enjoyed and if you appreciate what we're doing, you can support us by, buying us a coffee through PayPal, or you decide to launch yourself into the streaming. There are some links in the description. You can start, either go with Melon or go with StreamYard. Both platforms, I use both of them, and I can tell you they're great for this kind of productions. That there are different platforms. We talked about them. If you check in my library of videos on my channel, you see we spoke also about other platforms of streaming that can provide you with the output that you would like to see. Okay. Once again, really want to thank you for stopping by. I'm looking at a comment here. Tim Hortons, not Tim. She reminding me. Yes, we buy me a Tim Hortons. Yes. Let them buy me a Tim Hortons. That'd be much, much appreciated. And I thank you again for stopping by. And I'm looking forward to chatting with you next week. And maybe we can probably connect on Clubhouse. I'll send you an invite, see if we can probably chat for one of these days for half an hour on Clubhouse. Okay. And for those of you who have not subscribed yet, please subscribe and click the notification bell so that you can receive notification every time that we post a new video or we go live. Thank you. Stay safe and stay blessed.
You too. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye now.